Hi, everybody. Happy to see you all here. This is Aley from Heart and Soul Connected. We are
Hi.
we are doing this on both channels. So if you don't see all of the comments that we're talking about, we will try our best to share them with you. And we're just really
Yeah.
happy that you're here. Double dates are really special to Aley, and I'm lucky enough that she invited me to the double
Yeah.
dates with her.
Double dates. That's right. I love them. And a couple of months we had two double dates, but they and
Mhm.
unfortunately had to both be canceled. But that's okay because we're back with our three energies,
Yeah.
and nothing could be better. So thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
and
much.
could you talk about what it is that you came up with the numbers?
Absolutely. So in my chat, which all of you can't see, um, the number three is like the most perfect number. That's what they said. And they said it can represent harmony, wisdom, and understanding. It can represent past, present, and future. It
Mhm.
can be birth, life, and death. And it can be beginning, middle, and end. And
Yeah.
there's so many more. I mean, if you're a very religious person, it's Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the Trinity, and of course, there's lots. A pyramid is a three-sided
Yeah.
object as well. And
Mhm.
it's very, very powerful because of the way that it configures. So, yeah, the three energies are wonderful, just wonderful. Thanks, JJ.
Yeah, and there's a strength in that when you brought up like the triangle or the pyramid.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
like a sturdiness to it, like a good foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, we were just talking about changes, and changes are something that we have all had to adapt to and live with, but also not to buy into the idea that we are victims and we don't have any say in our world, either personally or currently, because we've been talking about just the weather changes all over, the snow, the rain, the thunder, the fires, all of those things. We
Yeah.
did it to ourselves. And I don't mean personally, I mean collectively. It isn't because something of we spiritual people would have wanted to happen, but it just shows how things can get so quickly out of balance in such a big way. Oh, yes, Maiden Mother Crone. That's right, Fogo Fogo. Mhm. Yes, I love
Great.
that. Yeah. So I just pulled a couple cards, and I'm going to tell you what I got, and then of course I'm going to let JJ talk because I want her to.
Hmm.
She's running the show today. So I
Right.
wanted some inspiration for today. So I got the inspiration card, and I pulled three cards from one deck and three clarifiers. And the first one I got is that we need to do a deep dive. We need to dive into either a task or to do something that will bring us joy. The clarifier says inner wisdom and intuition. So we need to remember that you can deep dive into your own intuition and your own wisdom because we contain everything we need. We know the answers. We just don't trust ourselves 100%. So we look to others to help us. And that's okay as long as we still listen to our own intuition. The second one I got was a tidy house, clarity and organization.
Hmm.
My husband's now living here and he's kind of a messy guy.
Yeah.
I told him today, I know you don't feel good, but as soon as you do, you need to start cleaning up after yourself because I need you to. So what message is spirit asking you right now? What do you need to clean up in your own life in order to make your life more tidy and more organized? And the last one I got was radical acceptance, which is comes out looking like a heart in some ways. But it,
Oh,
you know what it also reminds me of is solar storms, which we've been dealing with now for a very long time. So
yeah.
radically accept yourself. Remember that you are the beloved and overlooked. What important aspects am I not seeing in myself? Do not overlook yourself. You are your own beloved, and you are the one who needs to radically accept yourself for who you are in order to move forward. So
Mm.
that's what I got for you as a collective today.
Yep. And Kaylee here, Fogo Pogo says, if you put the 2 3s together, it can visually make the infinity sign, the 8.
That's right. That's right. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful, yep.
You know, Aley, that's the same. I like how we're just stepping off the bus here and just running with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I was thinking about 33 and like the power or the song that the 3s have, they were showing me that we are on our path. And it's not like we're bushwhacking, you know, with a machete and like cutting our way to find the path. It's like, I feel like we are on the path.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we're well on our way to those things. And, you know, but the hard thing about it is to have, you know, people in our lives and like even what we're doing right now, like it's within us. And I know it's within us, but sometimes there's that that veil or that in between time where it gets really frustrating. It's like your head is you just keep running into a wall, and you're just wondering like, when is this gonna open up for me? When am I gonna get the answers that I'm looking for? I don't even know the questions I'm asking. And
right. Yeah. Oh, you're so right.
Yeah, and that's a fine line of the of what you were talking about with being a victim of our circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm a Pisces, and I'm really good at like holding a grudge. That's something I'm proud of, but I'm really good at it.
Hey, you know what your shadow is, and a lot of people won't admit it. So good for you.
Yes. And so it's like if I could point my finger at something, then I was okay with that. But there is like this stance of not really owning up to my part, not owning up to my part in it. And so I'm just curious, what is it that with what we're saying today, what is it that comes up in your heart? Like, do you guys feel that, you know, you're waiting for some answers to come in? Because the in-between time can be really crazy. Maybe there's some of us here that like grew up with and just kind of learning that you blame others. And that sort of frequency. And so,
well, we don't want to get ourselves in. When we were kids, we didn't want to get ourselves in trouble. So, you know, it was the other one's fault. It wasn't our fault, you know.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. But when you were talking about bushwhacking and saying that we don't need to bushwhack, my feeling is it's almost like there are beautiful paved stones on the path, but the grass is simply crossed over them, and you can't see those paved stones. And all you have to really do is clear them off. And it isn't like that, like you said, it's not like we're taking a big knife and having to slash through it. It's just a little bit of movement that can show us back on that path as well. So
I love that. I love that. So Annie says, I feel like I ascended this weekend.
Wonderful. Wow. You're a sweetheart, Annie. Thank you.
And Maddie Bug is here. She was talking with Nana here, saying that that they're struggling. Yeah, Nana says everything has been very hard lately. It keeps pulling me down. Yeah, like a current. You know?
Or you're walking through glue or something. Yeah. I think what's really hard is that spirit gives us sometimes too much at once. And it's like, okay, I could take this, and all right, I'll take this too. But damn it, why do I have to have this, and this at the same time? And I think that we feel like, what the H, you know, did I ask for this? But we actually did.
Yeah. And then on the other side of that, it's like, okay, well, I got a taste of something, so let's bring on more. And it's like, then we get mad that
let's get it all done at once. Right. Let's get it all done at once. And then I'll be done with it. Yeah. That's
So yeah,
that's
I've never felt like a victim, but then I've always been very independent, something my parents taught us from an early age. Yeah. See, I grew up watching what is it? Looney Tunes, but it was a coyote one and the Roadrunner. So it's like I grew up,
Beep,
yeah.
beep.
Thank you for being here, Bora Bora. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, revenge. Like, oh, you did something to me. Well, I'm going to do something to you, and I'm going to
I
go to
get
the Acme factory.
That's right. Blow everything up. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be resentful, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed, and it's okay. But you got to eventually get up, dust yourself off, and say, you know what? I'm hurting myself a lot more than that person or that revenge would ever do. So,
yeah,
yeah.
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 Well, thanks for everybody visiting today. We've got lots of really cool people.
Thank you.
No, I'm feeling like opening up the chat to questions about if people did have questions about like the journey or just asking for support for their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And in that kind of in that sort of way, like just seeing if spirit can shine a little bit of light on like why things might be difficult, or what is it that I can I can, like, the first small step instead of
Yeah.
looking at the huge big
The too
picture.
big picture. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I agree with you, because we do take things very personally. And I remember reading the Toltec wisdom from Don Miguel Ruiz, and one of his first things that he says is, "Do not take anything personally," and that is extremely hard to do. That is just, I mean, it's like, how can I not take it personally? You want to fight against that whole idea. It's happening to me. That's personal.
yeah.
Okay, but how can you not stay in that energy that you need to fight? It's like the fight or flight kicks in, and then it gets your energy down too low.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm.
so if you guys have like a question or along those
Mm.
lines, go ahead and put it in capitals, because I'm a Pisces, so it's like my brain looks like our background. It's like,
And I have a Pisces moon. That's why you and I get along so well. Oh, that's funny.
uh, let's see. We've
I,
got Cheryl is here.
oh,
Cheryl had some good input on the last live that I just did, so
wonderful.
I'm happy you're here too, Cheryl.
Yeah.
What do the
Oh.
guys want me to write? What story do they want me to share?
Mm.
I love a good story.
Mm-hmm. Just, I'm got right away. Just share your story. Your story is so powerful. Our stories are what define us. But let me see if I can. Ooh, all right. I get transformation, Cheryl. Share the story of your transformation, your spiritual transformation, your movement from the chrysalis of the caterpillar into the beautiful butterfly that you are. And it is something we all do transform with, and sometimes we come back as another caterpillar and transform as a butterfly into another part of our lives. But right now you are filled with color and brimming with beautiful energy. So that's what I get for you. Yeah.
When you were explaining that, um, it was like they brought in the word current again. Like
Okay,
when
good.
we share our stories, in whatever way it is, whether it's we talk about like light language and how there's so many different kinds of languages out there. There's like
Hmm.
dance and there's art. It's like something that sings to your heart, that you would like to get out there with, like really no agenda, or just
Hmm.
being like, having this offering of your story out there. And what they were showing me, like for more people than just you, Cheryl, is that when we share our story, then we get to step out of the current. Like if somebody has something heavy
Perfect.
that they want to write, what they want to write about, maybe something that does feel like you're walking through like glue, is writing it down. And it's not like you have to stand up on stage and spout it out. But once you write it down, I mean, I love a good fire, write it down, like share it with spirit, read it out loud outside in the dark, put it in the fire. Anything for like what you were saying with transformation is like when we do share our stories, it's really helpful because it's like stories aren't that easy. Like, being born into whatever circumstance, that we step into as children. Some stories are, well, I think everybody's story is like this.
Oh, definitely. But you
Yeah.
you never know what your story, how that may impact somebody else's story or somebody else that is looking for the answer themselves. And you're like, you just gave them a real beautiful crystal, that they can consider. Because I think we all have similar stories. Just a hint. I'll give you a hint.
I love you for saying this, Cheryl. It's just like, just give me a hint.
Just give me a hint.
Just a little bit of hint. I would say, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but it is like your heart's song. So one thing that I used to love writing about was nature. And you brought up the butterfly alley. And one time I was outside, I was like young and my boyfriend did something stupid. That's my side of the story. And I was crying. I was in the woods. I was crying, just had to get away from everything. And while I was sitting there crying, this butterfly comes in. And it's just fluttering around. It's landing here. It's very light. And then I got the story along with it, was that the butterfly is beautiful, but the journey isn't always beautiful, and just like what you were saying, with the 3 stages of things.
Right.
So, and just taking that, I mean, that could be a story in its own thing. Have you ever written? Would this be something you're actually like physically putting on paper, Cheryl, or typing? Listen to me.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it makes me feel better, actually. I say it to my students. They're like, typing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So Cheryl says thought. Hang on.
The ladybug that lands on your finger. Is that? Oh, thought.
Yeah.
Thought about that too. Tell me verbally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could even be. What they're showing me, Cheryl, is when we were kids, and you have like a white background and you do like the shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you were talking about.
I like that one too. Yeah.
And what's so interesting about the ladybug is that it's like not aerodynamic at all. Like it's just like
it's
like a bus trying to fly.
That's right. I have to say that Annie Bear spends an awful lot of time outside, and the things that she writes about or paints or talks about on her show is all about that. It is standing in the presence of the luminous and the numinous. It is enjoying the present moment. There you go, Annie. Yeah.
And I also feel like, and Annie, you can say if this is how it is with you, like the more that you do go out there and just really appreciate the things around you, just even the small things, it's like, then you keep seeing them. Like you keep, I remember Annie went outside and it's like the sky was like this pink stream of light. And it's like, once you start noticing, I kind of feel like nature is like, oh, she's paying attention. Let's give her something spectacular.
Absolutely. I love that. And that's so true. Yeah. The world is in your hands, Cheryl. That's right, dear.
Yes. That's right. All right. Yeah. And there's many different many different ways to tell our stories.
There you go. There you go. And Diana, she does. She's an artist anyway, but she writes down all her dreams and brings us all these beautiful experiences in words, not words, in drawing, and we can see it ourselves. Nature can take us. Yes, it can. You're right. You're right. Yeah. 1946 typewriter. Ooh, okay. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I took typing class in high school, and I will never forget. I was just thinking about this the other day because we would do all this typing, and he would play like he'd have the record player going, you know, and so he would type. And but I remember him saying, you know, when you're done, don't crunch your papers up and throw it in the trash. He's like, because that's going to fill the trash up too much. He's like, put your papers laying down flat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a metaphor for life. Like,
it is a metaphor for life.
Let it lie.
Yes, you wrote what you needed to write. Now let it lie and move on to out the door. Absolutely, yeah. Oh, Fiona, that's wonderful. That's exciting. Yeah,
I love that. I love the word cusp.
Yep. Me too.
And you know, Tutah is like they're my guides, you know, and they help me with my light language, but they also show me words like you just wrote cusp, but they're also saying cups. They're saying cups. I'm wondering, could you pull a card, Aley? I know Fiona didn't ask for it, but
sure, that's fine.
Here's your unsolicited card, Fiona.
Ooh, Fiona, is it about your career?
Ooh.
I wonder. That would be wonderful. Let me see what else, if there's any other thing in the clarifier. It says that you're going to be able to provide a solution using your own experiences to solve a current problem.
There's the word current.
It is the current. But you know what else is important is we really just need to. What happens to me is it's really awful because I want to go to sleep. And then when I get to that point and I'm in bed and I'm trying to fall asleep, I get 600 different show ideas. Oh, I should do this. I should do that. That's how it comes to me. I may not get that like every month or every week or whatever, but when it comes, I have to sit and write everything down or I'm going to lose it tomorrow, you know? So, yeah.
No, I'll be so tired. Yeah. As soon as I go, like, I think about 12,000 things right now.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we've got Harley here. Harley says, transformation started the past 1.5 years. I have felt pulled to return and acknowledge childhood gifts. Am I right? Is there any specifics I should be doing? What should I do? All right. Thank you for being here, Harley.
Yes,
I love your picture with the moon. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely. Oh, wow. I love the cards I got for you. The first one I got is surrender the drama. If there's anybody that's giving you a really hard time about what you're doing and I don't know, some people poo-poo on your parade, so to speak. Don't let anybody do that to you. Don't get involved with it. Just say, listen, it's my life. I do what I want. But I see that you have brought in an angel number 44, which is the perfect storm. And I love this beautiful, I think it's either a crow or a raven, but you have the courage to step into life. And that's what you're doing. And the woodwives say your adaptability to bring this back to you is available to you at this point because you have recognized it. You've been on this path for these couple of years. And there you go. Yeah.
You know, and it comes with tears, just thinking about, you know, some of the things you just opened up, Aley, is, and it's not necessarily like full on like grief tears, but it is, let me just see. I'm going to start speaking my light language here for a little bit.
Okay. Sure.
They're saying like we're all a branch of the same tree. Some of us grow different ways, though. We all grow our own way. And there are outside influences. Like heavy winds, when we're not strong, we might bend a certain way. And recovering back to where we were sometimes is not it's not able, the branch isn't able to be back where it was when it was young, because the storm came through and now it grows this way. And there's just saying, don't, this is just for us all together, is that it's okay if you grew a certain way. Not that it's okay that situations might have come up like a storm, but really just being where you are, which also comes into the almost surrendering to the where we are right now, and talking about the three. If we're in the middle of our story right now, it's okay to have the knowledge of the before, the past card. But I do feel like one thing I have a hard time with is things that did influence me, being an empath, or just how I was growing up and taught, is that there is a bit of not only a victim thing, but it's also it kind of influences it so much. Like if I were to think back of something that was like a storm, then I would instantly feel it the same way again, as if it was reoccurring. And one thing Tutah really likes to talk about is it's okay to have that story, but it's like you don't have to step right back into the story. You don't have to go right back to the beginning and feel it as if it's happening again.
Right.
Yeah. They say they have more for you, Harley. And they say, even though they're bringing in like the needle and the thread, or like weaving, and they said that even though the process is very delicate, like your gift seems like it might be delicate, they said that the string is very strong. So wow. I know sometimes with the Tutah, it's just like, wait, I have more questions.
I know. Yeah. But we are very lucky to have Tutah speak, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. For the first time. Yeah. I know. Some people, I know.
Really resonate. Yeah.
I know.
Once they find JJ, it's like, oh my God. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, you're right on time.
Yeah, you're always right on time. Cheryl said something a little earlier. Let me see if I can find it. It's at it would be 2:55 your time.
Okay.
And I love it. I love what she said. It starts, can you imagine?
Still looking.
That's all right.
I'm like 2:55. Oh, there. Okay. Okay, who was it?
Cheryl Simpson. Yeah.
Cheryl. Okay, yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, here, I got it.
The deep waves were so deep that when the mass fell, it would take 3 days to hit the bottom of the ocean. That's a beautiful share. Thank you. And that shows that it takes time for things to devolve, or or even for us to go as deep as we need to settle at the bottom, to understand where we're supposed to go. So I love that as a metaphor.
And this too. Yeah. Free
divers can't drive that far.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that thing on that machine, unfortunately, that combusted up there earlier last year, that those guys were riding on to go to the Titanic. That remember when that happened? But it was that it had the pressure from diving deep all those many times couldn't be done. So it's almost like you want to dive deep, get the best you can out of it, and then bring everything back up to the surface and work with it here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Linda is saying hi, Aley.
Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Yeah. I know it was sad, Cheryl.
Sad.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
took. Oh, yeah, that was
It
a
was a
big.
very tragic
Um,
thing. It was.
Yep.
Yep. You're welcome.
Let's see. I did star a few things. Yep. Ness
Okay.
said your number's 33. Annie Bear here says, "How may I be of service?"
Beautiful. That is a question we could ask others. Let's see what Tutah has to say about that.
Yeah, they're Annie, Annie's very earth-based. So they're bringing in I'm seeing the grass. The grass is like at a good height. I feel like it's the seeds that were used for the grass were the kind that it reaches a certain height. It's nice and strong. But it's one of those types of grasses that doesn't need to be trimmed. It's like when it grows, it grows. And let's see what they have to say, because I almost feel like when there's the wind coming through, it's like the wind loves it. And I don't know if this is a message you've gotten before from Tutah, but the wind loves to play in this grass because the grass is nice and strong. And it's almost like when somebody plays something with a reed, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but but how the breath or how the wind goes like this on the reed. And again, it's like musical instruments and finding whatever that, it's almost as if we are the instruments. Like if we were concocting like a heart song or a heart story, it's just this beautiful breath that we have here in this, in being a human. I know sometimes it can be really heavy, but they're just like, you get to actually get your heart song out there.
Yeah. Well, I had also, when you said that, I got remember when we were kids, we'd take blades of grass and blow on them and it would make the noise? Yeah. I got that right away. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I get, sometimes we need to close doors. We're done with that part of what we're supposed to do. But this is interesting because here's the current again. The spirit of the river is movement towards adventure. So there's your water again. And it says, remain curious. How may I be of service? Remind people to remain curious, open-minded, to understand that this too shall pass. If it's good and if it's bad, remember to appreciate it while it's here if it's good, and remember that it's not going to last forever if it isn't.
Awesome. Let me see. Oh, yes. Okay. I appreciate this, Paisley. Paisley says, I don't know. I don't have a question.
That's okay. No, that's okay. It's them telling you what you need. Yeah, what you need to know. What you need to know.
I want to
play. Actually, I love that. That's sometimes the best way to do it. Oh, this is funny. And so I have to bring up, it says clarity. It says this is what you're seeking. You're seeking clarity, but you don't know how to ask the question, you see? That's okay. That's okay, because that means you're open. You're open to whatever comes. I'm getting here that you're just getting your feet on the lay of the land, and that ancestral wisdom could come through for you that brings you closer to that which came before you. And there's something about it. The older we get, the more we're invested in the stories of our ancestors. At least that's what I've seen in a lot of older people. My father started doing, what do you call it? Genealogy, like when he was 59 years old or something. And now at my age, I'm feeling like I need to know a little more. So that's very important. So if anybody's still, people in your family are alive, ask the stories. The stories are so important.
I really like the lay finding our it's just we're finding like our footing on the lay of the land. And I really love that because if we like have that frame in mind, like reframing something or shifting into this, like, well, I'm just, because it doesn't matter like what age you are,
Right.
and like what part of your life that you're in. It's like I feel like things are just always constantly shifting and changing. I mean, gosh, look, if somebody said like 5 years ago, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's like so much has happened that
you could never have predicted. Yeah, you could never have predicted. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
So I really love, it takes the pressure. It takes the pressure off of things like, you know what, I'm still just getting the lay of the land. This one that's right here, right now. And it's almost as if somebody comes up to you and asks, oh, hi, how are you doing today? And it's like, just getting the lay of the land.
It's really nice if you can lay on that land as well, because then you're also getting the benefit of the Mother Earth heartbeat. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yep. 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 Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Leah says, lay me down in tall grass and let the clouds roll by, feeling the sun's path.
Oh, absolutely. It reminds me when my kids were little, we'd go on a little picnic, and we'd bring blanket and everything. And we'd also bring a blanket to cover up with.
Nice.
And after we ate, we were all tired. So we'd lay down on the land on a blanket and fall asleep, and that fresh air. And oh my God, we slept so well. It was wonderful. There's nothing like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, my husband, I think it was for his 50th birthday. We went on the river for 10 nights on the river with like no people, you know, a couple. It was one of those river trips where it was, we went on the last possible day that you could get the ferry ride back. Because that's the only way you can get back is on the ferry. And so we just knew that there weren't going to be people coming behind us. You know, like if we waited long enough and the other people went ahead, we'd like have the river all to ourselves. And there's something really magical. And it's almost like the 3-3 reset, like a reboot of being where the phone doesn't come in. Just really putting yourself out there in nature, because it's like it's like a lot of pressure leaves for like the sensitives here. I feel like the background of us right now, where like energy is like, you know, it's like you got solar flares.
It's frenetic. It's very frenetic. Yeah.
The stars, the sun, the moon, retrograde this and retrograde that. And it is just so nice to be just to be in tune with just being a human in nature.
Oh, yeah. A human being and not a human doing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd buy that on a sweatshirt if you made that.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's what we were brought here to be, a human being, not a human doing. And, you know, because we feel like we have to do all the time. And it sounds like a song.
It feels like do.
Yeah, like the Twilight Zone. Hi, Candy.
Let's see.
Wow. We're so happy to have all of you here. Oh, I'm
troubling where I lie, the grass below, above the vaulted sky.
Beautiful. Yep. Yeah. There's another one I had to memorize in 5th grade. Alone in the night on a dark hill, with stars all around me, all spicy and still, and a heaven full of stars over my head, white and topaz and misty red, myriads of beating hearts of fire that eons cannot vex or tire. Up the dome of heaven like a great hill, I watch them marching stately and still, and I know that I am honored to be witness to so much majesty.
Yeah. Wow.
That's 59 years ago that I had to remember.
59 years ago when we used typewriters.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Yep. Candy is here. She is impressed and says hello to us.
Yeah. Oh, Catherine, I'm not sure, honey. I should have remembered who did write that poem, but that's the only thing about fifth grade that I don't remember about that poem is the
Yeah.
person who wrote it. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so let me see. We have time for a couple more questions.
There was something that was written earlier by
From Kaylee, Fogo Pogo.
yes, from Fogo. And I think it's in your, yeah, there it is. Been depleted. Yep, exhausted, dizzy. Honey, you're not alone. But I think that the Reiki is healing you. But I think what your dizziness and your exhaustion comes from are the sunstorms, the solar. They're like not X-rated, but they're X solar storms. They're like so deeply huge that a lot of us aren't sleeping. I would love to know what Tutah thinks about that.
Yeah, let's see. Because feeling depleted, it's almost like, the soil that's had like so much washing through it. And let me see, Tutah. They say it feels again, they're bringing in the music and the frequency and the sound, and they are says that yes, it feels that way, the depletion. And they're talking about when the river is swollen and the things get all mixed up in the water. The water has like that brown. And they're like, it's okay because the river will take a break. Maybe it doesn't calm down right away, but when it goes around the bend, they're like, there will be a nice place to rest when things are feeling discombobulated and not settled. But they said that if you take those moments to really recognize or even ask for like a bend in the river when the current is too strong, which, with Reiki 3, totally tapped in, they're bringing me to where the river has this beautiful opening that you can just pull off to the side in the eddy, where it's nice and smoother, and get a little bit of shelter from the
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But it can feel really the current.
Yeah. If you're struggling to rest, that will bring dizziness to you as well, honey. Yeah. Every time I get up, I get really, and we had sound healers on the other day on my show.
Yeah.
Sound energy healers. And by the end of it, I was so dizzy. I had so much energy in my head. I felt like I was going to just go away. But for the one that Sarah Teasdale was the poet that wrote that poem, just so you know, if you ask it. All right. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know did anybody else
Amanda says she's feeling very one step at a time energy. Feeling kind of not spacey. She says a kind of a paced energy. Can you speak to that? It's like a paced energy. PACED, not paste like cut and paste. Yeah.
Like eating paste, eating glue.
Kids used to do that when I was in elementary school. They would eat that paste. Oof. God.
That was not me.
No, not me either.
But I do remember when they would print something out at school when I was younger, and it would have a smell. The paper would have a smell to it because of the process of the printing.
Oh, that was on that purple paper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's probably terrible for us to smell.
Yeah. Totally terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the question?
Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Amanda says she's, and it wasn't too far back. It would be 3:10 p.m.
Okay. I'm almost there.
Okay.
I'm going back in time. Everybody hold on.
Going back in time. Well, past, present, and future. So
it was Amanda. Is that what you said?
Yes, Amanda Carroll. Yeah.
I'm feeling very one step at a time energy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what they have to say, Amanda. It's so neat how this all gets tied in too, because of what Aley was explaining in the beginning of, you know, we don't have to take the machete to like find our way. Where it's just we've got this beautiful path, but it's just a little overgrown. And I would think that if something was, you know, not ready to be exposed, like if the stone or the story isn't ready to like emerge, like if it's still under that like mossy, spongy feeling, where it might feel like Tutah tama konatiano ko titanos ditayewa. They're talking about, they're bringing in the fish, and they're talking about how one would fillet a fish, and how they get to like a specific layer. And it has to be done in a way where it is done somewhat slowly. This step that they're talking about, it's as if it's peeling the moss off the stone. You know, there's like a process of, it's like you don't want to rip the whole thing off. You know, it's like,
yeah, like a Band-Aid on a wound. You don't rip it right off too early. Yeah. I get it.
So that is the one step at a time energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that what they're saying is the paste is good.
I get here the Garden of Venus, and look at how beautiful it is. It says rest and renewal. So I think we're all resting up, Amanda, in order to be ready to renew. And I won't say it's a fight, because I don't want to believe that it's a fight, but it's that we want to, you know, time to take up and start walking again, or time to move forward again. It's got to take that time. Yeah.
And here's Lori, with you talking about the sound healing that you are doing. Lori's been feeling faint and not sleeping.
I'm not sleeping either.
Now, the last 2 nights, it's like I look at the clock, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I didn't sleep yet.
That's right. It's something about it is, and it's, you know, I'll go at a reasonable time, and then I'll be up. Last night I got up and did my taxes for 3 hours because I was wide awake. And that was very taxing, but it took me a while to get back to get back to what I was, you know, the worst thing that you could do is get up and do something that engages you like that.
Yeah.
That's really counterintuitive.
Yeah. The dreams we have after that.
Oh, you read till 3 a.m. Well, reading usually can put you to sleep. So,
okay, so feeling faint and not sleeping, Lori. You know, they're bringing me to the back of your neck, and thinking about the back of your neck and how, like when we stop drinking coffee, and you get like that throbby headache, because it's almost like your body, like it's almost as if you need to take like in my situation, when I stop drinking coffee and it's like full on cold turkey stop, it's like you get the reactions of when something is not there that your body's used to. And this isn't necessarily, this is more like metaphorically. It's like when the flow might be like a little stagnant, like the energy right there in the back of your neck. And so they're just coming in. I can see them coming in, and they're almost like massaging the back of your neck, just to relax. So just take a breath in, and everybody can do this, and just really focusing right there where the top of the head connects to the story of your neck. And just seeing whether you're aware of like how to relax those muscles or not, just asking that those melt and they relax.
Yeah. Yep.
and just to help with the connection between the head and the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I get that. We're supposed to surrender to passion. It says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Just as exactly what you just said. Focus on people or activities that ignite your passion, let it flow, but also make room for rest. And the other card I had pulled was what decisions or influences are affecting you right now. And I think if we go to bed with worry on our mind or needing to get some kind of thing figured out, and that's where writing down stuff before you go to bed is really helpful. So you can just go back to it on another day, make a list, and you can check it twice tomorrow.
Oh, look, here's a 3. The back of the
Okay.
neck, base of the skull is the opposite of the third eye. So very important.
Yes, it is. You're
Cool.
right. You're right. And yes, we should say always check with your doctors, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Candy, you've got it too, huh? Yeah. I really do think it's the solar flares as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do.
We're so lucky to be so sensitive.
I know.
Oops, I
It's
clicked on
very
this.
true. Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't notice. Oh, the 13th month. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, you have stiffness there being a channel. Well, there's something else. It's the occiput that's back there. And there's some chiropractors out there, which my husband is one, but they only do work with the atlas, which is the neck bone. They don't touch anything else. They think that is the only that will take care of everything. I've never been to one, but that's what my husband had told me. Wow.
Yeah. And when I went to shamanism school with Alberto Vialdo and his wife,
Yep.
they were talking about like that's where we put our fingers. So when someone's laying down on the table, we hold it there.
Yeah.
Gently. Just gently
Yeah.
holding that.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Clearing clutter, and then you can fall asleep. Well, there you go, Paisley. I love that. I keep getting messages about clearing clutter, and I can fall asleep.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at how many people are dealing with this.
Yeah.
Just about everybody.
Yeah, my teenager is really struggling with the migraines and trying to figure out like, okay, well, which doctor, not witch doctor. Well, yeah, maybe we need a witch doctor.
Witch doctor. You never know. That's right.
You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, how do I help myself? It's like, and when you're tired and you have a migraine, it's not like you want to make an appointment or get in the car, go somewhere.
Right. It's like, oh, I don't want to move. I just want to lay down and be left alone. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. You get intense full body chills if someone puts their hand at the base of your skull. I wonder if you lost your head at some point.
I have lost my head several times.
Have you? Okay. You've had been guillotined or something or attacked.
It was purposeful. It didn't happen by accident. I wasn't just along.
I totally get it. Get it.
Welcome, Scott. Hi.
Hi, Scott. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do we need to do as we step further in for the rest of the week? I think there's we got moons coming up and things. Does Tutah have any recommendations for us in order to gather up the strength we need to get through maybe the rest of this month?
Yeah, they're just bringing me back to where there's a light wind blowing, and if the stream of wind or the current of the water, the flow or whatnot, it's like we can just go a little to the side and find like the eddy that you need.
The respite. Yeah, the little small area that you can be in.
Yeah. If things aren't clear and you're looking for clarity, just just pull over into the slow lane of the river. And
Yeah.
it's okay. One thing that's really hard for me is to just be okay with not knowing why something is, or why something's not coming. And
Right.
why isn't this happening? I want it to happen. I pray for
Yeah.
it to happen. I have the
Yeah.
altar. I've got this.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but it's okay to not know, and to not have all the answers. And I just really do love the shifting thought of I'm getting the lay of the land, because
Yeah.
the lay of the
Uh-huh.
land, because things switch so much in our lifetime here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I had to last month, I had to be very, very comfortable living with uncertainty, which is actually what we all should live with anyway, because we're
yeah,
not certain of anything. But
yeah,
living with uncertainty means that we are more open to whatever comes or comes in, whatever we are told or whatever we feel and whatever. It isn't always pleasant because you'd like to have some kind of a plan, but
mhm,
sometimes plans, they don't always work out anyway. So just let
yeah.
it go, let it flow. Yeah.
And I know, I see that Maddie Bug is here, and um, Maddie and I have been having conversations about it's so hard to pull. I can imagine, Tuta saying, just pull over to the side. But it's like, Maddie being here reminds me that
Yeah.
there are certain things that you can't pull to the side of.
That's
Uh,
true.
and so, what would Tuta say? Or if you have any cards for that, Aley, it's like if you
Okay.
don't have the opportunity to do that.
Ah, wow.
I'm curious what you got.
Surrender to what is.
I bet she hates that answer.
Go with what is instead of fighting it.
Yes,
When
yeah,
you can't change a situation, compassionately accept it exactly as it is, and it will bring you the peace you need. Because
yeah,
sometimes that's all we need is to feel the peace. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's hard to surrender when we're really in the thick of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
But I do know that one thing that Maddie Bug has taught me is that, you know, just when it's like every day you have something going on that affects you. It's like the volume of pain for people who have chronic pain,
Yeah. Yeah.
something like that. It is hard to get those moments of peace. And
Mm-hmm.
I do like when Tuta comes through with, with sound, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's whatever works for your your ear holes
Yes,
to
for your ear holes.
make you just give you a little bit of peace for even like 5 seconds. But I do
Well,
really hold those people with the chronic stuff in my heart space, because it's not easy.
yes. Those of us who have given birth to babies in the past, we had to surrender to what is. I remember telling my dad at 22, I'd like to go home now. I don't want to do this anymore. And I was mostly joking with him, but
Mhm.
if you tighten yourself up we're taught in Lamaze class, if you tighten yourself up and you hold on too tightly, it hurts more than it hurts otherwise to
Mm.
birth something new, to birth your child. You have to surrender and let it and breathe, let it go, let it go, let it go. And it's really a wonderful way of remembering that we have no control, really. And the contractions are going to come, the baby's going to come eventually and hopefully be
Mhm.
born and everything will go fine. But we're on the table. We can't change anything at this point. It's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can be really frustrating. It's like when the life outside your door, outside your house, it's like it doesn't take a break. It's
Right.
still life is still
It
going
still goes
outside.
on. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
That's
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah.
know we like talk a lot about like love and light, and the shadow
Yeah.
is there as
The
well. So
shadow. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So wishing you guys all the best.
Thank you.
Aley and I will hopefully be back for the 4/4s.
Yeah. We will. We'll be in the 4/4s, which wonderful angel numbers anyway. And if Ness is still here, I think it's wonderful that you have a 33 year. Or that's your birth, like your birth numbers. Oh my God, that's a master number. You can achieve a lot in that.
I really like this. I like this step that Paisley reminds us of is if it's too big or too final to let go, then just learn to loosen the grip so the grip could loosen the hold on me. And before I knew it, it was let go.
Wow, that's beautiful. Oil Painter says she was shuffling, and as we talked about labor, 3 10s jumped out of the deck. 10 of wands, 10 of coins, and the X wheel. 10 is the wheel of fortune. There you go. Wow.
I don't know what all the cards mean, but that sounds cool.
That sounds pretty cool. It does. Yeah. Yay. Yeah.
Well, Aley, this has been a blast.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. And you got another show with Cheryl coming up for you. You're just the YouTube queen today, so you enjoy it.
Going with the flow.
You're going with the flow, and everybody's following you. Thank you so much, JJ. Thank you. And everybody who's here. Thanks.
See you guys back in April for 4/4.
Yeah. Bye-bye.